So you're staring at underperforming numbers, maybe some missed deadlines, or just a general lack of drive on your team, and you are literally pulling your hair out wondering what went wrong, right? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're tackling a fundamental leadership challenge that trips up even the absolute best, most seasoned managers out there. We're going to look at why we so often misdiagnose what's actually holding our people back, and how shifting our focus to just one simple, incredibly powerful concept can completely change the way our teams operate. To help us figure this all out, we're drawing directly from the insights of Mayank Trivedi. Specifically, we're looking at his awesome LinkedIn page called Lead, Improve, Grow. Now, Mayank shares these fantastic continuous improvement strategies and leadership lessons that are really tailor-made for working professionals who are serious about their career growth and process excellence. Today, we're unpacking his practical leadership lesson number 5. These aren't just abstract theories drawn up on some whiteboard. This is real, battle-tested advice from his experience leading operational teams and driving massive transformations. And the real beauty of this lesson? It's incredibly simple, and you can apply it literally right now in your own trenches of process excellence. Okay, so our core thesis today boils down to just 3 little words. Clarity creates confidence. Sounds super simple, right? But man, the depth here is staggering. Trivedi makes this brilliant point that people perform at their absolute best when they clearly understand what success actually looks like. I mean, think about that for a second. If you don't know what the finish line looks like, how on earth can you sprint toward it with any real conviction? You just can't. You kind of jog, you hesitate, you look around to see what everyone else in the office is doing. Confidence isn't just this built-in personality trait that some employees have and others don't. In a high-stakes professional setting, confidence is actually a direct, manufactured byproduct of clarity. Now, think about the last time a major project failed. Say a huge product launch completely missed its deadline, or a marketing campaign just fell totally flat. Where does your mind go first? Well, for most of us, we look straight at the obvious symptoms, don't we? We think, my team needs more training. They have a capability gap. Or we tell ourselves, you know what, they just lack the hunger. They aren't motivated enough. Or maybe we just chalk it up to plain old poor execution. But based on Trivedi's experience, organizations misdiagnose these performance challenges all the time. We're constantly treating the symptoms, not the actual disease. Because the true root cause, hiding beneath all those missed deadlines and lackluster campaigns, is usually way simpler. It's a fundamental lack of clarity. And this lack of clarity, it triggers this dangerous, almost invisible downward spiral that absolutely destroys productivity. Let's walk through it. Step 1. Unclear expectations. You tell a team member, hey, I need a report on Q3 sales by Friday. Okay, step 2, confusion. That employee walks away nodding, but inside their head they're going, wait, does she mean top-line revenue, units sold by region? Does she want a giant spreadsheet or a quick slide deck? Which leads directly to step 3. Hesitation. Because they're confused, they second-guess everything. They delay starting, hoping they'll just bump into you in the hallway to clarify. But of course, you're stuck in back-to-back meetings. And finally, step 4, impacted performance. They end up throwing something together at the absolute last minute. It's late, it totally misses the mark, and the quality is just meh. And the crazy part? All of this stems from that one vague initial directive. So how do we fix it? Well, the solution is just as direct as the problem. When expectations are clear, performance improves. It's that simple. As leaders, our absolute number 1 critical responsibility isn't just to set the direction. We have to actively ensure that the direction is actually understood. You can't just fire off an email with the quarterly goals or talk about the new strategy at the all-hands meeting and cross it off your to-do list. No way. You have to confirm reception. You've got to verify that they get it. When you intentionally illuminate the path for your team, the natural, completely unavoidable result is a massive, immediate upgrade in their performance. Okay, so how do we practically build this into our day-to-day? Well, Trivedi gives us 4 essential pillars of clarity that we need to establish with our teams. First up, goals and priorities. What exactly are we trying to achieve and what comes first? If you're doing a big software deployment, your team needs to know if speed to market is the priority or if a bug-free release is the priority. Second, roles and responsibilities. Literally, who is doing what? If 2 different managers think they both own the final sign-off, you've instantly got a bottleneck. Third, expectations and accountability. Like, what does a good job actually look like here? Is it just getting the code written, or is it code with 0 bugs and full documentation? And finally, the 4th pillar, processes and decision-making. How are we getting this done, and who gets the final say when there's a disagreement? When your team knows the answers to these questions across all 4 of these pillars, they don't just work harder, they work significantly smarter.
Now, let's be real for a second. Having total clarity doesn't magically eliminate all your challenges. You're still going to face tough markets, ridiculous deadlines, and demanding clients. But here's the magic. Clarity removes the guesswork. It totally eliminates the friction. Just think about how much mental energy your team wastes trying to interpret what you actually meant in that last hurried Slack message, right? When you reduce that uncertainty, all of that mental bandwidth can be laser-focused on execution instead of interpretation. Your team members can finally take true ownership. They can make better, faster decisions on their own simply because they aren't constantly stressed about whether they're coloring outside the lines.
And that brings us to the ultimate payoff. This is the big difference between a team that just barely survives and an organization that truly thrives. Confused teams, they seek instructions. They are completely paralyzed by ambiguity. They're going to constantly knock on your door, ping you for permission, and basically just sit on their hands waiting to be told what to do next. But confident teams? Oh, they take initiative. If a client changes a requirement at the absolute last minute, they don't sit around waiting for your permission to adjust the timeline or move resources around. They already know the parameters, so they just jump right in and solve it. That confidence, that amazing willingness to take ownership and act on their own, it always begins with a rock-solid foundation of clarity from you, their leadership. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on for your own continuous improvement journey as a working professional. Take a hard look at your own leadership style and ask yourself, what steps do you actually take to create clarity within your team? Are you just setting the direction and hoping for the best, or are you absolutely ensuring that it is understood? Think back to those 4 pillars we talked about today. Find where the hesitation lives in your organization right now, and I guarantee you'll find a lack of clarity hiding right behind it. Fix the clarity, and you will build the confidence.